But there's a big headline. The feds finally caught the January 6th bomber, the man suspected of planting pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters in D.C. just hours before the January 6th riots. You remember that? So the man they caught, that they say this is the guy, and let me tell you, looking at the evidence jacket that they put out, this is a lot of investigative work that points right at this guy, 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr., Woodbridge, Virginia, living just 30 minutes from the Capitol. He is proof of the biggest national security threat facing this country. But that's not what people seem to care about here. The curiosity is why it took about 5 years to get him. The Attorney General, while taking a victory lap with the FBI's Kash, Patel, and Dan Bongino, I'll come back to that in a second. Anyway, the Attorney General seemed to blame the length of time on the Biden administration.
This cold case languished for 4 years until Director Patel and Deputy Director Bongino came to the FBI.
We did not discover any new information. What we did, brought in a new team of investigators and experts, re-examined every piece of evidence, something that the prior administration refused and failed to do.
Folks, this is what it's like when you work for a president who tells you to go get the bad guys. It was due to the diligent and incredible work of a team in the Washington field office that came in and just scoured through this over and over and over and over again.
I'm glad they got the guy. I hope they can make a case beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm fine with them taking a victory lap. You should celebrate good things. It is good to get a bad guy like this if this is the right guy. I even get thanking the president. But blaming Biden? You know, there is no Trump or Biden FBI when it comes to the case agents who've been there for years. Now, I heard what they said about, oh, we brought in new eyes. I don't know that that's true. You likely had at least some of the same people working on this case now as then. Why accuse them? Well, rage bait, of course. It's not good enough to have the win. Biden needs a loss. Why? Because it's the binary nature, zero sum. The Democrats always have to be bad for Republicans to be good. It's the coin of the realm, rage bait. But there is a legitimate basis for outrage here, and it has nothing to do with Biden. And I'm not talking about the conspiracies fed to MAGA, that this was an inside job. Remember that? I don't know. I hope you never heard that before, because that means you're really too deep into social media. But, oh, they can't find the bomber because it's an inside guy. It was the FBI. Everybody there was from the FBI. Well, if that's true, guess what? Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel, they're all part of the conspiracy. Because they're now saying that this guy was not an inside guy. Putting that foolishness aside, the outrage here is who's celebrating and how they're explaining it. You know, there's an expression, gaining power doesn't change a person, it just makes them more of who they always were. For Kash Patel and Dan Bongino to stand up there and take credit for catching this guy means that everything they were saying before about this very investigation was complete BS. They know who he is, he's an inside guy, it was fixed, bad. And I believe they knew back then that they were full of it. They were in the rage bait business, and this is the second time they have tried to pretend they don't have a past. And that ain't getting past me, and I'll explain why. This is not nitpicking. It's not a gotcha. It's not petty, okay? This is the root of what is wrong. The division in this country is largely manufactured for advantage, and it has been manufactured by people who weaponize information to make you think that you can only trust them and the other side is the devil. And Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were two of the guys who were powerful purveyors of exactly that, and it is not my opinion. Look.
There is a massive cover-up because the person who planted those pipe bombs, they don't want you to know who it was because it's either a connected anti-Trump insider or this was an inside job. There are going to be people in the FBI who are trying to protect their jobs. And they're going to start releasing information now about the bomber, which was an inside job. No question in my mind. It was clearly some Democrat operative.
Do you think the Federal Bureau of Investigation can't find a bomber in the United States of America? Or there was some government ruse or some FBI rogue source, you get rewarded for your criminal cover-up government gangster operations.
Look at Benny Johnson. When Patel references government gangsters, it's a shameless plug of his book. See the game. Where was that BS today? Kash, where was it today? Dan, where was it? Where was the inside job? Where was that it's a Democratic operative? Where is all that stuff that you sold to poison people and get paid? The answer is the same reason they dropped the BS they used to sell about Epstein, okay? And I'll tell you why it pisses me off. Because these guys matter, and we need them in the positions that they're in, that they were gifted by this president. And I combat the BS that they put out there all the time. And now they get to stand up there. This is what happens when you work for a president who says, go get the bad guys, and this is what we did, and this is the guy. You were telling people they already knew who it was, and that it was a Democratic plant, and that the FBI was all about it. Now you're running that agency, and you don't say it anymore. The same reason you pretended you never said Epstein was murdered, you never said there was a client list that the deep state was keeping sealed, and now you are doing more redacting at the FBI that you both run than anyone has ever seen on those same files. Why? Why? Because they are part of the problem. They use rage bait to get paid by you, and they get you to click that button, and they'll say anything to make it happen. It's as simple as that, and the proof is the past versus the present. If they weren't lying then, why won't they admit it when they talk about it now under oath, like they wouldn't about Epstein? If it wasn't BS then, and they really believed it, why wouldn't he say today, hey, you know, I thought this was a Democratic operative. I was wrong. Because, why, I get it. You can't say that. You can't say that. The president, unfortunately, is right. Apologizing is losing. You're right. I hate it. It's not what we teach our kids. It's not what you want in a civil society, but we're not a civil society right now, and we all know it. I get that. But we need him to be better. We have to, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. We need leaders in the positions that they're in. We need these guys to be worthy of the positions that the president gifted them. And I wish he had not. This team is not a good look for the president. They are not serving him well, in my opinion. And you can say, well, look, they just caught the guy. Yeah, they caught the guy that they said was a Democratic operative for years. They said it. Okay? Just say we should have never said the bomber was an FBI plant. We should have never said FBI was murdered. We shouldn't have said those things. We're working off the facts now, and here it is. Okay? And again, I don't want to own them. I don't want to even disrespect them. I want them to earn some respect. Because here's the deal, okay? While they were distracting all of you, or so many of you, really, hopefully none of you, because I hope you're critical thinkers and independent, which is why you seek out NewsNation. The boogeymen that they created have distracted us from the real threat, and this alleged bomber is Exhibit A. Another disaffected young American male living at home with his mom, isolated, aggravated, and driven to a desperate act in the name of destroying the system. This is the #1 national security threat in America. Extremists acting with violence. You do not have to be an extreme Islamist to be a fundamentalist and act on extreme ideas. And if you look at the political violence in our country, it is much more about other American homegrown people than it is imported jihadis. Look at the disgrace to my Italian ethnicity, this Mangione guy. 1 year ago today, he assassinated a healthcare CEO to make a point. We have more people in this country who are homegrown, radicalized here, and seem to hate America and are willing to act on that animus than at any other time in my life. It's being fed by social media, and Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were the people among those feeding it. And the reason they need to own that is so that we can do what we need them to do now, okay? I don't care about the parties. I don't care about what party they're with. I see the two-party system as the problem, but we're all going to lose when there is more violence from guys just like this, and there will be more because the energy is all towards fomenting more as opposed to stopping it. And Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have to make a choice. Either you can be part of the problem or you can be part of the solution. What are they going to choose? Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.